It is opening day of Season 2 in our Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here, and I am excited to get this season underway. If you are to hit a like button on the video, I think we have a lot of exciting stuff upcoming here in Season 2. We have the additions to the Major League squad and also a plethora of farm system additions that I think will make this season very interesting. And I'm excited to get things kicked off here in front of our hometown fans. Taking a look at our lineup here that we will be kicking off this season with, we're going to keep O'Neal Cruz in that leadoff spot. Willie Castro, the biggest acquisition we had in the offseason, will be hitting at 2. Spencer Horwitz at 3. Reynolds at 4. Josh Bell will be DHing. At 5, Andy Rodriguez will be our catcher against right-handed pitching. Laureano, Gonzalez, and Hayes here at the bottom. Against lefties, Hayes gets a big bump, and we bring in Wilmer Flores to play first base, and Peguero to DH are the biggest changes between righties and lefties, as well as Henry Davis being our catcher against left-handed pitching. As for our pitching situation, it's going to look remarkably similar to the way it did last year. Of course, no doubt about it, Paul Skenes at that ace spot. Jared Jones, hoping for a bounce back season from him at that 2 spot. And then we brought back Heaney and Oviedo despite struggling last year, just because I felt like there wasn't really a chance to improve this offseason, at least at a cost that made sense. And so we're bringing back, in a lot of ways, a very similar pitching situation. I am going to allow David Bednar a chance to retake that closing spot this year. He wasn't great by any means last season, but he was improved for sure, and if we can get anything close to the player that he was from 2021 through 2023, I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. And so Dennis Santana served as our closer last year. He'll be the setup man this time around, and that will be our pitching rotation to start off the season. If you're wondering what the top 100 prospects list looks like, here you have it. They actually have Pete Good listed as the number 1 prospect in baseball this season. We'll talk about him in the next episode. I would personally rank David Yan ahead of him, but we've got number 1 and number 2 following last year. Pete Good is just so far away that I don't think I'd put him at number 1, but hey, it is what it is. The game ranks these themselves. Other than Roman Anthony here, you're seeing a top 10 just littered with players from the last class. I think it was a pretty strong class, and there's Julio Macias, the man that got away from the previous class, coming in at that number 5 spot for the Detroit Tigers. If you want to find where all our other players are, you have Buford Kingman coming in at number 14. You have Bubba Chandler at number 35. He'll play for us at AAA this year. Albert Sweeney at 47. You have Carl Womack at 65. Ray Drake at 68. Jamar Johnson at 79. And I believe that might be our last one. Nope. Richard Lynn sneaks in, our closing pitcher, in that 93 spot. That is from, I believe, just 2, maybe 3 players in the top 100 last year. 1 draft. We've already gotten a major bump in our top 100 prospects. On the mound today will be the $300 million man. Well over double, nearly triple the contract anyone else in Pirates history has ever gotten. Paul Skenes signed in the offseason. He's been off to an incredible start to his career on the mound. And he's got a well-rounded skill set. I think he can do a bit of everything, but that overwhelming power that leads to strikeouts is his number 1 attribute. And he was really fun to watch last time on opening day. We only got to see him that once in season 1, Certainly want to see him pitch more often here in Season 2. And so far, the Royals here able to get a couple of solid hits off of these pitches here. Not there them able to get down for actual hits, but there you go. That's the way to end the inning. Getting Bobby Witt, their young star, down looking at a 100-mile-an-hour fastball low in the zone. 3 up, 3 down here to kick off Season 2. Meanwhile, our hitters will have a tough task ahead of them. Cole Ragans is no joke at all. On the mound, he is a deadly lefty that we'll have to deal with here today. Leading off for us, much as he did last year, is O'Neal Cruz, and the season starts with a strikeout. He struggled for us last year in the leadoff spot. I'm giving it to him here to start this season. But if he struggles again, I think we might have to put him at a different spot in the order to try to get him going. Even though I think he is probably our best leadoff hitter of our options. Peguero looking at a fastball. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Ragans here early. That'll bring up Brian Reynolds. Can he have a better year than he did last year? Not swinging at pitches like that. The circle change well outside the zone. And he strikes out the side here in the bottom of the first. Into the second inning now, Marcelo Zuna at the plate for the Royals, and Willie Castro, his first appearance here as a Pittsburgh Pirate, making the throw there to get the batter out. And look at that pitch right there, 103 miles per hour on the gun. That's just the type of power you do not see elsewhere in the league very often at all. Pasquantino gonna get a hit on that pitch outside the zone. A lucky hit, just stayed fair. And that'll be the first hit of the game for Kansas City. Smith got a decent amount of contact on that ball, but O'Neal Cruz had enough speed to track it down and glove it. Just the one hit on the board for Kansas City. Hayes hits in a much higher spot when we go against lefties, and he's going down swinging. I mean, these pitches have us swinging at stuff outside the zone. Our batters aren't getting good looks at these pitches, or they're right on the corner like that pitch right here. I mean, we came to watch Paul Skenes pitch here, but Reagan so far has been the star of the show. 5 straight punch-outs to lead off this game, and we will go 6 up, 6 down, but at least Flores doesn't strike out. What's going on with Cole Ragans? He's pitching out of his mind here to start. Mullins up to the plate for the first time this season and flies out to Brian Reynolds out in left field. Top of the order back up for the Royals. Garcia, that one will get fair out in right field. Handled by Laureano, and it'll remain a single here. 2-out single. Shouldn't be too much problem for Skenes, but sliding into scoring position is Garcia. The best chance so far anybody's had to score today, but the slider gets India down swinging. Great strikeout stuff from Skenes. Maybe not so much as Reagan so far today, but that was an excellent pitch by the Pittsburgh ace. Bottom of the third. Can we get something going offensively here? Nick Gonzalez got a good bit of that pitch and nearly over the wall, but it's out in left field. Should be easy extra bases. A standing double for Nick Gonzalez. The first hit of the season comes here in the third, and you gotta love these camera angles here. The show drone giving us a nice angle of that one, well struck by our second baseman. Can we drive him home? Willie Castro, he's going yard with his first at-bat as a Pirate. No! Just foul, 7.5 feet. I thought that was going to be an awesome play for our free agent acquisition, but we go from homer to strike out instead. That is a big bummer. I was so excited for that. Instead, the 9-hitter up, Henry Davis, is going to add to the impressive total of strikeouts here for Reagans. Put it up 7 on the board here in the 3rd inning. And another awesome camera angle, the ump cam here, giving us another angle of that one. O'Neal Cruz, he's back up. Hit it solidly out to left field, but an easy play. And we waste the leadoff double. Before we go any further here into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to Mike C. and Greg Mannion for becoming members here on the YouTube channel. Your support is greatly appreciated by me, and I hope you enjoy the members-only content that will continue to come out throughout Pittsburgh Pirates franchise and beyond. But let's get back here into opening day. Into the 4th. Skenes. Bobby Witt. He had him strike out in the first matchup in this game, but Bobby Witt gets on base this time around with a single out to right field. A lot of these hits that the Royals are getting are over in these corner outfield spots. Skenes. 3rd strikeout so far today. Another ump cam shot of that one. And this one's going to get down that 3rd base. Once again, just attacking the corners is how the Royals are able to get these hits stacking up here. So runners on the corners for the Royals, but 2 outs, no sacrifice here. And the strikeout gets Smith swinging in the dirt. No runs aboard for the Royals. 4 hits in 4 innings. Figueroa almost had a bloop single, but a diving play made by Cedric Mullins. What an effort out there in center field. He had to get up on his high horse and truck it. 99.9 route efficiency there. 70 feet on that play in the outfield. Very well done. Reynolds. This will be caught over by Bobby Witt. Another one that looked like it could have gotten down for a single. The Royals defense showing some range here. Hayes will fly out to right field. We finally got some at least contact on the ball in the field of play, which we've struggled with. None of them able to really get down for hits, though. And here is your pitcher comparison here. I always love this screen. Reagan's 7 strikeouts is what really stands out there. Skenes trying to close the gap between them, though, starting this inning out with a K. Full count for Michael Massey, just underneath the zone there. Won't get the call. The ball clipped the very edge of the zone, but can't reliably get those calls here in the game. We get the curveball for strike 3 on Garcia. And Skenes, the strikeouts are starting to come as the game goes along. He didn't start with a ton of strikeouts. It was more of, flyouts and groundouts early. Now we're getting the strikeout stuff. And there you go. All 3 outs of the inning come via strikeout. You had the 1 walk. Then even that you could have argued was a strikeout as well. What an inning for Skenes. Mariano struck out earlier and does so again way out in front of that circle change. Also underneath it. That just wasn't a pretty swing at all. Wilmer Flores. This one hits Cole Reagans. And even with the slow developing play in the infield, he can't reach first base. That 3-speed will get you. Reagan's shaking up on this play, but not enough to come out of the game, unfortunately, for our hitters. Gonzalez got good contact on the ball last time up. This time into the outfield again, but underneath it this time is Cedric Mullins. Witt back up. Strikeout and a single so far, and he's looking to add to that hit total here. Cruz cuts it off, and Witt will stay at first base. Leadoff single. Now he's going for second. It looks like these Royals base runners are not afraid to test Henry Davis here, who's the man behind the plate for us. as that's now 8 punch-outs for Paul Skenes in this game. Looking good as this game goes along, but that pitch count had gotten up there at this point. Thought maybe a little early. Probably would have let him finish the 6th if I was managing the Pirates, but you also want to keep those 0 earned runs if you can help it. And that pitch count, like I said, was getting a little bit up there. We bring in Dauri Moreta, and he finishes off the 6th cleanly. That'll be no earned runs on opening day for Paul Skenes. 5 1/3 innings pitched. Henry Davis goes down looking. 9 Ks for Reagans. Will he reach double digits here on opening day? O'Neill Cruz behind 0-2. This chopper will get him onto first base for his first hit of the season. But with 2 outs, unlikely to do much with it unless Peguero comes up big for us. This one's hit well into right center field, off the wall. Handled by Smith, but with the speed of Cruz, that will be the first run of the season. But Peguero's trying to go for the... Oh, my goodness. Trying to go for the inside the park home run, and that wasn't even close. I respect the hustle, though, trying to go for it. We had 2 outs. I don't hate it, but he was not particularly close. Moreta left one over the middle there, but a nice play over at first base by Flores, diving into the dirt to scoop that one up and then covering the bag himself as well. Some nice hustle from the veteran. 2 outs here. Michael Massey up. He's going to reach with a play out in left field off the wall, and Reynolds with a throw in, but sliding in safely is Massey for the 2-out double. Kansas City now looking to tie things here off of a really well-struck ball. Got to the wall in a hurry here. Pittsburgh once again will change pitching here to Dennis Santana, last year's closer. This year going to be our setup man, and a nice strikeout on a slider. Keeps Kansas City off the board for at least one more inning here. He's fired up, as are the fans here in PNC Park. They're liking what they're seeing from the pitching side, at least, from the Buccos in this game. Reynolds diving is Smith. He's not going to get there. Reynolds, extra base hit here to lead off the 7th. Can Pittsburgh start to expand their lead now that Reagan's day is done for Kansas City? We obviously had a lot of trouble with him, but now that he's out, can the runs start adding up? Hayes. He will ground out over to first. He's a player that's not going to do as well against righties, as we all know, and Laureano. 2 strikeouts today, but now he draws a walk. Full count pitch for Flores. That's a chopper over to short, and the double play is there. That's going to be something that you'll probably see often with Wilmer Flores. He's not going to really beat the infield on a consistent basis by any means. Santana out again for the 8th. Jonathan India strikes it into the outfield, but right into the waiting arms of Laureano. 1-2 pitch for Santana. Another strikeout here. He's not much of a strikeout pitcher, was not a strikeout pitcher last year, but he's got 2 Ks on that slider here in this one. Looking for the one more out here. Castro, the throw beats the runner, and one more inning to hold up, and we could shut out the Royals here on opening day. Bottom of the order up for the Pirates. Castro, he's going to go for a bunt and cannot beat the throw. That was pretty close, but no cigar. That brings up Henry Davis in the 9th spot. A pitch over the middle, and he crushed it. No doubt about it. That goes yard 438 feet for the young catcher, the first homer of the season, and We watched so little last season. I believe is that our first home run we've seen of the rebuild? Certainly is for Henry Davis at the very least. And it extends the Pittsburgh lead by up to two, excuse me. Just a single RBI there on the home run. You love to see it out of Henry Davis, formerly one of the biggest prospects out there at the catcher spot, but his potential has been nerfed throughout the years. Comes up big for us here, though. 2-0 here. Heading into the ninth. Can the Pirates come away with an opening day victory? Heading to the mound is David Bednar. Once again, getting a chance to be our closer this year after losing the job following his 2024 performance. He wasn't great in 2025 by any means, so he'll have a pretty short leash here as the closer. He'll have to produce or else we'll give it back to Santana. What can he do against Vinny Pasquantino here? He's hitting .333 so far in just a one-game sample size. Got a ton of this ball, and it's a home run. His first batter faced of the season, and he gets crushed. Not a good start for David Bednar here on the season. Giving him a chance to earn that closing role back, hoping he comes back to his previous form, but this is not a good start. Did we make a mistake? And will it cost us an opening day victory? We still have the lead. We just need 3 outs. And no more runs allowed. We get the ground out here for out number 1. Smith up 0 for 3 today and make it 0 for 4 as he swings at the low fastball. Hacking at it for the first punch out of the season for Bednar. Mullins gets a ton of this ball. It's going back nearly over the wall again, just inside the park. And a 2-out double. Another runner in scoring position. This one is for the tie. Go ahead runner at the plate for the Royals, but Bednar gets strike 3, and the Pirates are victorious on opening day, 2-1. Bednar made us sweat it out there at the ends. Ultimately, this is kind of the game that you expect with a battle of aces, the caliber of Skenes and Reagans. They both pitched really, really awesome. 13 hits, 3 runs on the day, and a fun finish here as well. Fast forward a few days, and the Pirates are off to a good start to the season, winning both of their series so far 2-1, first against the Royals and then against the Astros. I think we'll take that start here to the season. Next episode, we will be taking a look at the prospects in our organization as we are about to make the debut for our Double-A squad, which is where all of our draft picks from last year are on that squad. And so we'll be watching those guys play for the first time, and as well as probably hopping into a couple of scenarios up at the major league level as we see if we can keep this hot streak going. That's all I've got here for the opening day of season 2 episode here. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with more Pirates franchise rebuild. And until then, let's go Bucks.